Rebecca Musser was only 19 years old when she was forced to marry 85-year-old polygamous leader Roland Jeffs. She was actually able to escape the church and testify in the trial against his son Warren Jeffs. Jeffs was convicted of abusing young women and forcing them to arranged marriages. Rebecca chronicles her ordeal in her new book, The Witness Wore Red. And joining us now is the author of that book, Rebecca Musser. The book is incredible. Your story is one that you can't believe actually happened. You start talking about your childhood, then coming from a family of 7 siblings, growing up, having even more upstairs, downstairs, going through life at 19, then forced into this marriage with Roland Jeffs. And then when his son took over, you were his 19th bride, correct?
Yes.
Warren Jeffs then threatened you, said, quote, he would destroy you in the flesh if you would not have sexual relations with his father at the time. A lot of people would think, because we know you escaped, obviously, why not sooner? How hard was it to escape? Give us a little insight, and I know you talk about it in the book, into what it was like and the dangers if you did try to get out of there.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize. They think, oh, why don't they just leave? But they don't understand the level of grooming that takes place from birth to give them, a child their perspective of the outside world. So it was incredibly terrifying to leave, but to be faced with, the life growing up, what I perceived of the outside world.
Speaking of the outside world, you did escape.
Yes.
You had your brother meet you. It was after Roland died. You escaped, went out to the outside world, but then decided to go back and help, which was incredible. I mean, you are a hero to so many young women and your sisters out there. You testified 20 times against the FLDS leaders, and you actually showed up to testify against Warren Jeffs in a red dress. Talk about the significance there. What message were you sending then? What message are you sending now?
I wore red because we were not allowed to wear red growing up, and he had told me, I will break you. And when I saw him in the courtroom, I wanted to send him a message that I was not broken. At the time, the first time, it was out of defiance. I wanted to remind him. But now, over time, it has become a symbol of freedom. I choose today. That is what red means to me.
You are one incredible woman. I want to let everybody know, but before we part here, that you are full of resilience. You have an organization called ClaimRed.org. You should look that up to help those involved with human trafficking and those who may be in similar situations. And I think it's incredible that you've reached out and helped so many women. Thank you so much for being with us today, Rebecca. Coming up, we have